Shalom, brothers and sisters. So let's talk wars and rumors of wars. The latest roundup just on that's happening right now in the world. And it's crazy. Again, I'm missing a lot of it. And there's like things happening in Niger that I'm not even covering, and how they're running around with pictures of Putin and just showing the West exactly where they're standing and how the future stands. But let's cover these. These are the important ones for now that you need to know. Poland's army moves through Warsaw, massive convoys of tanks, artillery, and armor. Poland's secret ambitions or fear? Poland appears to be positioning itself as the next major player on the European stage. As massive convoys thunder through Warsaw and rumors of a planned advance into Ukraine or even Belarus circulate, one must ask, is Poland attempting to mirror Ukraine's path, and if so, to what end? As the rest of the world sleeps, something is stirring in the heart of Europe. Warsaw, Poland's capital, renowned for its historical charm and resilience, is a stage for an unprecedented show of might. Videos surfacing depict a sight that sends chills down the spine. Massive military convoys parading under the cloak of night, tanks, artillery, armor, troops, thousands of them marching. There are speculations whispered in the dark corners of Europe that Poland is laying the groundwork to extend its influence into Ukraine and perhaps even Belarus. If true, the move could reshape the continent's geopolitics dramatically. The evidence is not just limited to the enormous military parades through Warsaw. Consider Poland's recent political maneuvers, their aggressive stance on international matters, their rapid military upgrades, their growing ambition paint a picture that's hard to ignore. Further, there have been underground reports from whistleblowers hinting at closed-door deals between Poland and unknown entities, deals that could promise Poland a greater stake in the Eastern European dominion. So are they dancing to someone else's tune? Quite possibly. Whether the theory holds water or it's a result of overactive imaginations, one thing is certain: the world needs to keep an eye on Poland. If history has taught you anything, when nations begin flexing their muscles unexpectedly, significant change is on the horizon. Something's up in Poland. Could they just be preparing for Russian coming their way, or are they working with Russia? Something's going down there, and it's going to be interesting to see what it is. So that's the one situation. Then, in the same way, Latvia's army to protect border with Belarus amid surge in illegal migrant numbers. Latvia's State Border Guard, the RS, is mobilizing additional forces from Tuesday last week to protect the country's border, in particular with Belarus, the BNS news agency said. The decision was made due to a rapidly growing threat on the joint border when 96 illegal crossings were attempted on that same day last week, and because of what Riga said was the Belarusian authorities' increasing involvement in organizing illegal migrants or undercover soldiers. RS officials will now be denied their annual leave, while those currently on holiday will be recalled to work. The RS has also requested additional support from the country's armed forces and state police. So Latvia massing their troops, preparing for a crisis or a war, either or, and tensions through the roof. You're seeing the nations rising against nations, wars, rumors of wars. Russian warship fires warning shots on cargo ship in the Black Sea. A Russian warship last Sunday, fired the warning shots at the cargo ship in the southwestern Black Sea as it made its way north. This is the first time Russia has fired on merchant shipping beyond Ukraine since exiting the grain deal. Russia said in a statement that its Vasily Baikov patrol ship fired automatic weapons on the Palau-flagged Sukru-Okan vessel after the ship's captain failed to respond to requests to a halt for inspection. Russia said the vessel was making its way towards the Ukrainian port of Ismail, and the shipping data showed the ship was currently near the coast of Bulgaria and heading to the Romanian port of Sulina. To forcefully stop the vessel, warning fire was opened from automatic weapons, said the Russians. The Russian military boarded the vessel with the help of a Ka-29 helicopter. The footage is available on Messenger and YouTube and everything. And after the inspection, the group completed its work on board. The Sukran continued on its way to the port of Ismail. Russia said it will treat any ships approaching Ukrainian ports as potential military vessels and their flag countries as combatants on the Ukrainian side. So come close and you are at war with us. Ukraine responded with a similar threat to ships approaching Russia or Russian ports. Ukraine attacked a Russian oil tanker and a warship at the naval base next door to the major grain and oil port. Ukraine and the West say Russia's steps amount to a de facto blockade of Ukrainian ports that threatens to cut the flow of wheat and sunflower seed from Ukraine to world markets. Russia dismisses the interpretation and says the West failed to implement a parallel agreement easing rules for its own food and fertilizer export. Politics, tensions, lies, counter lies, wars, rumors of wars, everyone building up, and a small little man in North Korea playing with his little missiles. Everything is building to chaos. Everything is waiting for a restrainer to be removed. It's all evident and in front of us. It's all happening on a daily basis. And then, just because he can, the 44th round of military equipment is heading to Ukraine from the United States. No surprises here. For the 44th time, the ruling class of the US has decided to continue to prolong the war and send military equipment to Ukraine. The Pentagon announced a $200 million weapons package for Kyiv. Why not keep the $200 million and send it to Lahaina and those areas and help your own people? Because they're not Ukrainians. The newest round of equipment will include artillery rounds, tactical vehicles, mine clearing gear. The latest donation came as Ukrainian troops struggle to penetrate heavy Russian fortifications in the ongoing offensive. I think after a year, you can see a pattern developing here, clearly. Russia has repeatedly warned the West and its NATO friends of sending lethal arms to Ukraine. Ukraine used cluster munitions in its attack on Russia. It has been rapidly destroying, Russia now, the equipment that is sent to Ukraine by NATO and the United States. Russia has destroyed 1/3 of US-supplied armored fighting vehicles sent to Ukraine so far. In some cases, these things don't even get a chance to be used before they're taken out by airstrikes, targeted airstrikes. Now you got to ask the question, did they get the information from someone in the West on where they'd be? Or you got to look at all these angles. $6.2 billion would be released from funds recaptured following a Pentagon accounting error earlier this year in which the military overstated the value of certain weapons. Back in May, the Pentagon said the newly found resources, then estimated at $3 billion, would go back into the pot of money to finance future aid packages. Again, an accounting error of $6.2 billion should scare you. What other accounting errors are there? And has the accountant been locked up somewhere secure away from any technology? And why not take his accounting errors that he's made before this and support your own homeless people and support the people suffering from wildfires and crises and lost homes and floods and landslides and mudslides? And because Joe Biden, because New World Order, because this is where they're taking everyone at a ridiculous speed as they set everything up for the final 7 years. I got to say, it's embarrassing as a human being after 6,000 years to see what we're doing in the final 7. 6,000 years, and this is what we're busy with at the end. It's ridiculous, but it's mankind without God. God bless. Keep looking up. It's only going to get wilder, but fortunately, us cowboys, the Christians that have got Jesus in the boat, we're not scared. We're just riding across the chaos, getting ready to go, and grabbing as many people as we can along the way. Shalom.